Alrighty. Okay, we don't need this. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. Hey, how's the microphone? Is the microphone working? I don't see. Hey. How am I sounding out there, folks? Yeah. So down there, you can see my drones. Cool. There is one person watching, and cool, 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 cool. Okay. All right, we got Canadian drone network out there. Great. Hey guys, how do I sound out there? Is the oh oh good. I'm glad the sound is uh, doing well. I just got this new microphone here. It's a USB microphone. I had the old guy over here hooked up to the mixer. It crapped out on me, so I had to get a new audio gear. So let's get this show going. Welcome to our first episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions. And this is going to be a weekly show where we're going to talk about drones, not only the ones that go up in the air, but we'll talk about the ones that go underwater too. And we'll talk about a lot of things that are happening in the drone news out there. Just this past weekend, we had a so called assassination attempt on the life of the president of Venezuela. They said someone used a drone, but from what I've been hearing from Canadian Drone Network, they told me that that was made up. That it was a propane tank that exploded. That got the attention of the security people who covered the president with their bulletproof vests. Kind of reminded me of the Roman times when Roman warriors would cover each other with their big shields. Uh, they called that maneuver the turtle because what they would do is they would have a box formation where uh, the warriors on the outside of the perimeter would have their shields that would go from almost to their feet to uh, about the height of their head or a little bit higher. And then they could cover almost full body. And the ones on the interior put their shields up over their heads to protect themselves from arrows and spears coming in from above. So that's what kind of reminded me of. And also, If you saw the video, you saw, the procession of military people walking down the boulevard. As soon as that explosion happened, they just scurried like a bunch of uh, roaches. When you turned on the light, they just went instead of trying to protect their dear leader. They all just said, "Screw this! I'm gonna save my hide and head for the hills." So that's what happened. But the country is a mess, and so there have been many attempts on the life of the president, and well, that is another show which I do on Sundays, which is my conservative talk show called Arts Place, which is on my other channel. Yeah, that's right. Even his own people want him dead. Um, the country is going to hell. They've got inflation that's out of sight. There's no food. People have eaten all the animals out of the zoo. They're eating out of garbage, and there's there's no food. The money is worthless. I mean, this was one of the most prosperous nations in South America, and these dummies, all heard the promise of utopia of socialism, and they ate it up. So they voted for it, and instead they got a dictatorship. You have no opposing political parties, uh, so that makes elections really just a show. There's really no elections. It's like the old Soviet days when, oh yeah, they had elections, but the same party wins over and over and over. All right, so let's talk about news. So you probably see over on my this shoulder here, since this camera has everything kind of turned around. Uh, then I have a couple drones here. And these are my two drones by MJX. One of them is the Drocon Cyclone. And I got this on a police auction website, $1. But the shipping was 18 bucks. Can you believe it? And all I got was the drone. And it came with a battery. And I went out and I got more batteries and a charger. And I charged up the batteries. Problem is, and maybe CDN can help me, the lights keep flashing. And it uses the same remote control as the Buds 3, which I have behind me here. And that works perfectly fine. But I just can't get it to link up with this. Can't get it to bind. The lights just keep flashing. Here, I'll give you a demonstration here. Knowing my luck, I'll get it. It'll work. That'll be the funny thing. Is I'll get the battery in, and if you look at it, the battery goes in here. But the bad thing about it is there's no off on switch. So I've got a battery here that's already been charged up. So this is turning into to be a how-to show. I hope I'm not. And here we go. So the battery just slides right inside like that, and then you just look. See how the darn thing just keeps flashing, flashing. And I've even tried to maybe do this. Am I going the right way, or does it need to go clockwise when I do this? And then I guess you do it this way. Yeah. So it just keeps flashing. And now look at the flashing is pretty much steady. And if you look now, you can see the little green light changing from green to orange. I don't know if maybe the battery is getting low or what, but it's not making a sound. It's not beeping. But if I put it over here on the flat surface and I oh wow, now look at that. Oh, see, it's still blinking, but I'm getting a blinking light on this. So, well, this remote goes to my Buds 3. However, it uses the same remote control. I looked online and I looked on YouTube, and see if I see how it's still it is not binding. So I've even oops. Nope. It's just so I don't know what to do about that, but here I'll give you a demonstration on here. Okay, let's go ahead and ooh, the battery is it's warm down here. I'm wondering if maybe I need to charge the battery for like it it does have a phone app. But you know what? The phone I'll try that. Let me try the phone app first. Huh. I've got the phone app, no video. I'm not getting anything. A photo. No, nope, nothing going on there. So I don't know what's going on with the drone. Uh, I mean, it looks like it's in really good shape. The only thing that's missing is one of the rubber pads is missing. That's it. I mean, it looks like it's in really good condition. Now I took the guards off, and it looks like it's been in a few bumps, so they were all bent up to where one of the props wouldn't even turn without hitting the prop guards. So I took them off. So let's go ahead and take this battery out. Okay, there's that. I will. Uh, all right. Yeah, it came in that box. There, that's the only box that came in. I mean, remember, this came from a police auction website. So now this binds, and see, that works. Okay, okay. That's why you don't want to fly that drone inside the house. Ah, whew. Boy, that'll give you a scare. Yikes. Alrighty. So if you saw one of my earlier uh, drone videos, is I connected a one of my SJ cams because what happened was the original camera mount. It hold it up there. All right, maybe you can see it. One of the grooves broke off when I took a spill. I had my GoPro, so what I did is I took one of the mounts from the GoPro that has like a sticky bottom to it, and I stuck it on here, and I had this on here. And if you saw the video, this thing was just too heavy because it had it had this case on, and it worked fine. I mean, I did get it up off the ground, but I just couldn't get it in a steady flight. But anyway, this is the old Buds 3 with no GPS, so it's a lot of work. But you know what? It's good to start with because it hones your skills on flying because it teaches you how to have steady control over your craft. And then once you go to a DJI, that that has GPS and that makes flying a breeze. But now they have the Buds 3 Pro with GPS, and it looks a lot like this, but I think it's white, and it's got a camera mount to where you can put a GoPro type camera on, and it's quite a bit better. What I would like to do is I want to make a mount where I could just stick this in and just kind of uh, clip it on, and it'll save a lot of weight if I could make a really lightweight camera mount where it just kind of sticks on like that. If I could hold it just right, where I could just mount the camera like that and just fly around. The nice thing about this camera, it kind of looks like the GoPro Sessions. This model has Wi-Fi on it. So, and that's what I liked about it. So, I was wondering if maybe I had the center of gravity too far front, and maybe that's because it was just wanting to flip over backwards. And but it's fun to tool around with the. Hey Kim, thanks for joining the show. Uh, One of the things that I like to do later on is I want this show to be about people with disabilities uh, learning to fly a drone. And I think this would give people with disabilities another another thing to do outdoors other than fishing and hunting. I'm a member of Outdoor Buddies here in Colorado. I do a lot of fishing, and not I haven't done any hunting in quite a while, but I do a lot of fishing, and I've done it all. I've done deep sea fishing, reef fishing. I fished in Canada. I my last overseas fishing trip was when I went to the Philippines a year and a half ago to visit my girlfriend out there, and we went out on one of those uh, you know it's like a canoe with pontoons out on each side, and boy, that was quite an adventure. Uh, Sadly, I didn't catch anything. The weather was kind of, but if you go to my other channel, Art's Place, um, you'll find it there. It's my travel video of the Philippines. I broke it down into three parts, and I believe it's the third part you'll see me uh, fishing. So that's what I like to do. Another thing is we have a rehabilitation hospital here called Craig Rehabilitation Hospital for uh, people with brain and spinal injuries. And this might be something that would uh, kind of give them something else to learn. Rather, I mean, get them on the track of recovery, showing them, hey, here is something else that you could do. And it gets you out of doors, or if you're in a gymnasium, you could fly one of the smaller drones like that one there. And also, I have a SEMA X20, and it's a little tiny drone. And that's what I use to fly around in here on those cold, wintry days when it's snowing outside and I could practice indoors and there's no GPS in that. So that really honed my skills on that. So, Kim, so what is your disability? My disability is arthrogryposis. And what it is, it's shortness of the tendons. And it doesn't allow for my joints to open up fully. Oh, okay. So were you born without a right leg, or was that an accident, Kim? Uh, if you don't mind me asking. Okay, will do. I'll check those out. Uh, I was once a stand-up comedian, and okay, so it was a yeah. I have a comedian friend. He was born without a left hand, and he became quite a funny guy. And back in the 90s, he was one of the writers of a show called Grace Under Fire, and he was also got to be a character on that show for a couple episodes. That's right, Kim. You never give up because sometimes uh, you'll get down in the dumps, and everybody experiences that, and just keep on plugging away. I'm a little person. I'm only 4'6", and I've got to travel around the world. Uh, yep. Well, good for you, Kim. Yeah, I traveled all over the United States doing my comedy shows. I mostly worked down in the Southeast and Midwest. But I got to go to the Caribbean, got to perform on a little island called Aruba, which gave me a chance to visit a friend of mine who was living in Caracas, Venezuela. Now, this was 1990, a much different place than it is today. So that was quite an experience. I didn't speak any Spanish at all. Uh, Now, because of where I work with a lot of Hispanic people. I know a lot of Spanish. So I had the good fortune to get to perform for our troops in Japan and South Korea, and that was probably the high point of my comedy career. I've been on television, mostly cable. Never got shot on. At that time, Johnny Carson and Letterman were the shows to be on. And then, of course, there was Arsenio Hall, and Joan Rivers had a show back in the day. And so that was a lot of fun. That was my first trip to Asia. I was over there for 3 weeks. Thank you very much, Kim. And if you go over to my other channel, some of my comedy videos are there. Uh, it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of really neat people. Now, Canadian Drone Network, I did get to perform in Canada. I got to perform in a club in Windsor, which is right across the river from Detroit. And that was a fun show. Had a lot of fun there. One of the bits that I would do is I would poke fun at one of the local teams, and at the time, the Detroit Lions were very terrible. They were horrible back then. So I was picking on the Lions, and some Yahoo was, uh, making comments about John Elway because I live in Denver. And I said, so how many Super Bowls have the Lions been at? So shut the hell up. The Lions have, I mean, they've won some NFL titles, but that was back in the 40s and 50s. But they've never been to a Super Bowl. They've been close once, back, I think it was 1990, and that was the Broncos had a chance to go to the Super Bowl that same year, but they lost to Buffalo, and the Lions lost to, who did they lose to? They lost to another. It might have been the Giants. I think it was the Giants, and that's what set up that big Buffalo Giants Super Bowl. So where did all my chats go? There they go. You're right, Kim. I'll do that. Although I've been to CDN a couple times, and every time I go there, I my subscriptions go up. Uh, the first time I went there, my subscriptions more than doubled because at the time I was like at 11 subscriptions, and then next thing you know, I'm up over 30, and now I'm at 34, which is great. And so hopefully with this show, I could grow my 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 channel quicker, and also I'm going to work on getting more content. So this gives me another reason to get out there and fly. This past weekend, oh, I'd love to be at 100. Yeah, I want to get to a point where I could get the what is it? Oh, super chat, where people could donate a couple bucks, just like Ken Heron. He's the guy that really inspired me to do this channel. I I've been interested in drones for a while, and it was a little over a year ago that I finally got a drone, and it was that Buds 3 that you see over there. And I only flew it a few times because that is a uh, a real challenge to fly because you've really got to have uh, steady hands and steady concentration to get that to fly because you have no GPS. You're at the mercy of any breeze. And one time I had this thing get away from me. I live in an apartment complex, and we have a big yard right out my door here, out the back of the building. And the first time I flew that thing, I got it up there quite high. Probably got it up about 30 or 40 feet. And well, thank you, Kim. I will check that out. And it got up in the breeze and it started to get away from me. And I'm trying to get it to come down because it kept going up, 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 up. And so I'm throttling it back. And I throttled it too much. And it just came down and it hit a house behind us. And it's one of those multiplex houses where there's like uh, 4 units in a building. And I'm like, oh crap, it's on the other side of the fence. So I hopped in my car, drove around. Luckily, nobody was home. Nobody was home, so there was no fence. So I walked in their backyard and I looked around, and I know it hit the roof or the side of the house, but didn't do any damage. But it bent the prop, so glad I had extra props. You're right, Kim. I do need a field. I did take it out to a park with some friends of mine, and it had a big baseball field, and I was able to get it out there flying around. I did pretty good, a lot better than I did the previous time, and I do have a video on that as well, and you'll probably see the video of where it crashed and the camera went flying off. Yes, it is a lot of practice. It's a lot of practice. But when I do finally get that mount fixed, I'll go to one of the hobby shops where they have like strips of plastic. And if I get a heating element to where I could bend it and I could shape it to fit around, I want to make it to where it it grabs the top and then it has a thing that'll mount it onto the bottom of the Buds 3. And then if it works, what I'll do is I'll find someone with a 3D printer to make these, and maybe I could sell these on eBay or something. Uh, Another good place to find used drones is, well, Facebook has one. All right, well, I'll try that. I do have Skype, so that will work for me. So if you, I could get you my handle, so to say, and we'll set something up. Oh, okay. All right, Kim. I'll check that out. I'll check that out. So I'm getting a lot more comments on this show, my political show. People just come on, they just listen to me go on and on about what's going on. Okay, cool, very cheap and easy to. I like that, but will it work on a camera like this? That would be great if you could do that. Where I have my GoPro, I've got a GoPro Hero 3 Black, and this thing is great. I love this. I've done some underwater stuff with this, and I did have it on that Buds 3 when it crashed and broke off the mount. I think I tossed it. I wish I hadn't done that unless I put it away somewhere. But anyway, this mount has a hole on the side so that I could plug it in, I could charge it up, or I could put my microphone. Where is that microphone? There it is. My lavalier microphone to it. I could hook that up and and I do have a cooking channel, so I've been pretty lazy on that, and I do have some stuff on my other channel that I could transfer over to that. Okay, great. That would be super. And I also have this is the camera that I do my vlogging stuff. It's a Chinese knockoff of I guess a Canon G7. Uh, I'm not too happy about the picture quality. It took me a lot of practice to figure out how to get the video to work on it, and the battery life isn't all that great. But hey, it does what I need it to do. So when I do my videos where I do intros to some of the videos that I make for either fishing, drones, what have you. Uh, and that's why what I use. Hopefully, down the road when I have some money, I'll get a better camera. And this camera is the same as this one, only it doesn't have Wi-Fi. Now these guys are pretty cheap on eBay. I think I got this one for under $50. The one you're watching my show on now, uh, I probably got it cheaper than that one. But the GoPro that I got, I think I paid $150 for it, and that was a little over a year ago. And that came with all the accessories. It came with a head mount, a chest mount, which I use for my fishing videos, and and I've got a hand mount. All right. Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you for being part of the show. I uh, really appreciate your comments, and you have a good night. So, so CDN, you are on at 7:45 p.m. Is that Eastern? Is that Eastern time zone? That would be, let's see, 5:45 here. Well, I'll figure it out. But great. Looks like I have a good start for this channel. We'll get better. Yes, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so great. I'm gonna do a little bit more with uh, the OBS. That way, I'll have a better intro to it rather than just going on live. And this is just a live uh, right from my camera. This is without OBS Studios. With OBS, I do a live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube for my conservative talk show. And every morning at 9 a.m., that would be 7 a.m. here. Sadly, I am at work. However, you guys are on every morning. Oh, I could catch you on the weekends. Cool. So I'll do that, and I'll make sure that I have my camera set up. And let me click over here real quick and get you my. I don't know if you do Skype or not, but my Skype handle is, as soon as I get it up, and ah, here we go. Got to click on it twice. Okay, my Skype is booting up, and my handle is. I'm trying to find out what. Ah, okay, Skype is doing an update. I believe it, but I'll find out. All right, Skype is booting up. Now I know why Karen Heron hates Skype. I've only used it a couple times, so